Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. You know what we love more than perfectly edited, super smooth videos? You guessed it, epic fails. That's right, we're talking about those moments where gravity takes over, coordination goes on vacation, and everything just goes hilariously wrong. Today, we've got a hilarious compilation for you, the best fails of the year so far. So buckle up, get ready to cringe, with laughter of course, and prepare to witness some seriously funny mishaps. Get ready to laugh out loud. Alright, first up we've got a classic case of how not to land a kickflip. You know, the kind of trick that looks so effortless when the pros do it, but in reality, it's a whole different story. Our brave skateboarder here is about to learn that the hard way. This dude thought he was Tony Hawk, ready to defy gravity and impress the ladies. With a crowd watching, he was all set to show off his skills. Confidence radiated from him as he prepared for the trick, envisioning the applause and cheers that would follow. But let's just say, physics had other plans. As he launched into the air, things started to go south. Mid-air, it became clear that this kickflip was not going to end as planned. Gravity, balance, and maybe a touch of bad luck all conspired against him. Watch as his board decides to play hide-and-seek, shooting out from under him like it had a mind of its own. The skateboard seemed to have its own agenda, rolling away uncontrollably, leaving our skater in a precarious position. His hat takes a nosedive, adding insult to injury. As if the failed trick wasn't enough, his hat decided to abandon ship too, fluttering to the ground in a dramatic fashion, and his ego goes for a little tumble. The fall was inevitable, and down he went, landing in a heap of embarrassment. You could almost see the moment his pride took a hit, lying there on the ground. Don't worry. No skateboarders were seriously harmed in the making of this fail. He got up, dusted himself off, and even managed to laugh about it. It's all part of the skateboarding experience after all, just a bruised ego and maybe a slightly dented pride. But hey, that's the risk you take when you try to pull off something epic. He shrugged it off, smiled, and got ready to try again. But hey, at least he's got a great story to tell, right? Right? Every fall is a lesson, and every fail is a tale to share with friends. And who knows, maybe next time he'll nail that kickflip and have an even better story to tell. Next up, we're crashing a wedding. But not just any wedding, this one has a twist that you won't see coming. Imagine the perfect day, the sun is shining, the guests are all dressed to the nines, and the atmosphere is filled with love and joy. Everything seems to be going according to plan. Don't worry, we're not there for the cake. Okay, maybe a little bit for the cake. The dessert table is a sight to behold, with a towering wedding cake that looks almost too good to eat. Guests are mingling, enjoying their slices of cake, and the air is filled with laughter and chatter. But we're here for the main event, the couple's first dance. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for. The newlyweds take to the dance floor, all eyes are on them. The music starts and they begin to move in perfect harmony. Now this is supposed to be a romantic moment filled with grace, elegance, and maybe a dip or two. The couple looks like they've stepped out of a fairy tale. Their movements are synchronized, and the love between them is palpable. But what we have here is more of a trip than a dip. Just as they attempt a particularly ambitious move, disaster strikes. The groom's foot catches on the bride's dress and suddenly they're both stumbling. Watch as the groom's smooth moves turn into a frantic shuffle trying to regain his balance. His face goes from confident to comically alarmed in a split second. It's a dance floor disaster in the making. The bride's smile turns into a look of panic, her eyes wide as she tries to steady herself. You can almost hear her thoughts racing. This wasn't in the rehearsal, and the entire wedding party tries not to burst into laughter. Some guests cover their mouths, others turn away, but the giggles are contagious. It's a moment of pure, unplanned comedy. Hey, at least they'll have a memorable story to tell their grandkids someday. In the end, it's these imperfect moments that make the day truly unforgettable. The couple laughs it off and the dance continues, albeit with a bit more caution. This wedding dance disaster will go down in history as one of the most entertaining first dances ever. Alright, time to hit the gym! But before you start pumping iron and channeling your inner bodybuilder, take a look at this cautionary tale. This guy thought he was ready to bench press his weight in protein powder, but it turns out gravity had a different idea. Watch as his muscles tremble, his face turns a lovely shade of crimson, and the weight comes crashing down with a resounding thud. Remember folks, always use a spotter, especially when attempting to lift more than your ego can handle. Safety first, laugh second. Chapter 4. Pool Party Slip, Cannonball. Well, that's what he was going for at least. This pool party was in full swing, the music was pumping, the sun was shining, and this guy thought he'd make a grand entrance. But instead of a majestic splash, he got a face full of concrete. Watch as his feet fly out from under him, his sunglasses take a swan dive, and his dignity does a belly flop. Hey, at least he cooled off, right? Just maybe not in the way he was hoping. Chapter 5. Cooking Catastrophe. They say the way to someone's heart is through their stomach, but this culinary crusader might have taken a wrong turn on the road to romance. This cooking attempt started with the best of intentions, a sprinkle of ambition, and a dash of naivety. Our aspiring chef had dreams of creating a gourmet meal that would impress anyone who tasted it. The kitchen was prepped, the ingredients were fresh, and the recipe seemed foolproof. But things quickly went south as the first signs of trouble began to appear. The onions were overcooked, the sauce was too salty, and the pasta was sticking together in a clumpy mess. And by south, we mean a 5-alarm fire in the kitchen. The oil in the pan overheated, causing flames to leap up and lick the range hood. Watch as the smoke billows, the fire alarm blares, and chaos ensues. The once promising meal is now a charred disaster, and the kitchen is filled with the acrid smell of burnt food. Our aspiring chef realizes that takeout might have been a better option. The stress and disappointment are palpable as they survey the wreckage of their culinary ambitions. Remember folks, when it comes to cooking, it's important to know your limits. Not every recipe is as easy as it looks, and sometimes, even the best-laid plans can go awry. Sometimes it's best to leave it to the professionals, who have the experience and skills to handle even the most complicated dishes. They make it look effortless, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of hard work and expertise. Or at least have a fire extinguisher handy. Safety in the kitchen is paramount, and being prepared for emergencies can make all the difference. So, the next time you decide to embark on a culinary adventure, make sure you're ready for anything that might come your way. Chapter 6. Trampoline Trouble. Remember the joy of jumping on a trampoline as a kid? The wind in your hair, the feeling of weightlessness, the inevitable moment when you realize you've gone a little too high? Well, this trampoline fail takes us right back to those carefree days, with a hilarious twist. Watch as this guy attempts a backflip, only to land in a tangled heap of limbs and regret. We're not sure what's funnier, the look on his face or the way he bounces off the trampoline like a human pinball. Chapter 7. Bike Blunder. On your mark, get set, wipe out. This bike ride started off innocently enough, but things took a turn for the worse when our cyclist encountered an unexpected obstacle, his own 2 feet. Watch as he loses control, his bike goes rogue, and he ends up doing an impromptu impression of a tumbleweed. Hey, at least he was wearing a helmet, right? Safety first, even when you're face planting into a pile of leaves. The office chair, a symbol of corporate life, endless meetings, and the occasional opportunity for some impromptu acrobatics. This office worker thought he could spice up his day with a little chair-spinning action, but his chair had other plans. Watch as his attempt at a power move turns into a power struggle. His chair stages a rebellion, and he ends up in a heap on the floor. Maybe next time he'll stick to spreadsheets and coffee runs. They say a dog is a man's best friend, but sometimes, even our furry companions like to make things interesting. This dog walk started off like any other, with a happy pup, a leash, and a whole lot of sniffing going on. But then, chaos struck. Watch as the dog decides to chase a squirrel, the leash gets tangled, and our poor walker ends up doing an involuntary dance move that would make even the most seasoned breakdancer jealous. Last but not least, we've got a beach ball fail for the ages. The sun is shining, the waves are crashing, and this group of friends is just trying to enjoy a game of beach volleyball. But little did they know, this beach ball had a mind of its own. Watch as the wind takes hold, the ball goes rogue, and our unsuspecting victims end up in a tangled mess of limbs, sunscreen, and beach towels. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this compilation of epic fails as much as we did. Remember, life is too short to be taken seriously, so embrace the mishaps, laugh at the blunders, and never miss an opportunity to capture those hilarious moments on camera. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more hilarious content. And be sure to share your own epic fail stories in the comments below. We'll see you next time.